Oh, poor quality connection. What the hell? Wait, nope, there we go. Alright, so this is kind of just a short stream that I've decided that I'd like to do. Kind of introducing you to some projects and what you can potentially see um, coming up in the future on Game Over Garage. We've been typically playing games and um, playing D&D. You know, you guys may have seen the Misadventures of the Dragon Crew, or you know, I don't know. There may not be a lot of you out there yet, but the goal hopefully will be to get more people out there. But and ideally, that's by doing things like this. I'm sorry, it's really freaking hot in my garage. The the garage in question where we should see more of these videos. Anyways, um, in light of some events that have taken place over the last couple of weeks, um, I just decided it was time to maybe start getting back in the game again and doing some fun stuff, doing some builds, doing some more gaming, doing some more D&D sessions, all that kind of stuff. But I figured what better way to kick it off than to introduce you to um, my pet project, or one of my pet projects that I've been doing for the better part of about 5 years now. I've got a lot of photos, I've got some video footage, but I haven't ever really uploaded it. And so I thought that I would kick it off with a live stream, just kind of see how things went, see if anybody was receptive to it, even if they don't watch it now and they watch it later. Ideally, that was kind of the thought process. Um, Hopefully, the audio is good. I'm not quite sure. We'll figure it out as we go along. I'm going to test it here in a minute. My internet connection is kind of being shoddy. My router is in my house, and my house is not connected to my garage. I have a separate garage. Kind of, as you can see, that's the door out to the garage. You can't really see the house out there, but anyways, so kind of, I guess, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Christian Johnson, aka MDO Junkie. Um, I've been streaming for, I don't know, probably about 6.5 years, off and on, and just kind of decided I wanted to take it a couple steps further. I did for a little while there on Twitch, kind of increase my streaming and playing video games, stuff like that, and had a lot of fun, but decided that it was time to move on to kind of bigger and better things. So I do apologize for my garage. It's somewhat of a mess, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you have a working project garage as opposed to just keeping it as a clean garage. My wife would love that. Anyways, so without any further ado, this is my project I've been working on for 5 years. I'm probably rambling a little bit, but we'll get into it and I'll kind of give you some an idea of what I've done, and I'll post pictures and stuff like that to social media pages and whatnot. I have in the past, and will continue to do that as I make more progress. But anyways, um, I wonder if I ought to try this. Hold on a second. It's gonna probably drop. So this is my bug. Like I said, I've been working on it for the better part of about about 5 years. Um, Last year was kind of the biggest year, got it to a point where I could drive it and actually, have it moving under its own power. It was a rolling chassis before that. Um, Everything that you see now in this video is what's been done. And I realize it's a little dirty. That's because I took it out with a friend of mine. We went out to 5 Mile Pass, which is here in the lovely state of Utah, and kind of beat it up a little bit, had a little bit of fun, had to tow it home. Well, I had to tow it there and home because I didn't feel like driving it all the way out there. It was a good hour and a half from, actually, yeah, hour and a half from my house, so it's a little bit of a drive. Not too bad, but still worth the time, and had a lot of fun. But anyways, so this is my Baja Bug. Um, put all new lights on it, put blinkers on it, put the fiberglass hood on it. Funny story about the fiberglass hood. It was at one point cut into 3 pieces, which is that line you can kind of see along the edge there. The guy who owned it prior to the guy that I bought it from thought that he could cut it into 3 pieces to make it function on a Super Beetle, which has different front suspension than the standard Beetle. So yeah, we fiberglassed it back together. I had a buddy of mine do the fiberglass work for me. Still kind of working on fixing that up, making it look nice. Still working on the whole thing. But if we kind of go, and hopefully I don't lose too much connection, hopefully I can stay connected for the most part. Did a little bit of diamond plating on the doors. That's kind of fun. I got Fox rear bypass shocks. Nothing truly fancy at this point in time. Kind of working my way up to doing some coilovers and all that fun stuff. But did the cage, bought a cage that was a prefab cage, and I've been tacking and adding on stuff myself. There's kind of one of my crummy ass welds, but it's welded and is solid. So don't judge too much. I'm new to welding and I've been learning as I go. Got the seats from, do a shout out to these guys. They're here in Salt Lake. It's a company called, they do more than just, I mean, they don't do seats. I actually am not 100% sure what brand of seats these are, but the company that I bought them from is called Midnight 4x4, and they do all sorts of performance off-road 4x4 parts. They sell tubing, DOM tubing, mandrel bent tubing, all of that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, that's kind of their thing. That's what they specialize in. They were a great help in getting my seats done and getting some other stuff. One of the latest updates that I kind of have, and it might, if I don't put my finger in front of my phone. Sorry about using the phone. I don't have my other camera with me. Streamlabs has an app directly on the phone or on a tablet. It makes it a lot easier just to go ahead and go straight into recording. So, but as it sits, and I'm getting poor quality again. There it goes. I don't know. It's hit and miss. I need to put a freaking Wi-Fi router out here. Should not call it that. I work in networking. I know better. Put a wireless access point in my garage so I can have good quality internet. On the list of things to do. Also on the list of things to do in the garage, as you can see, it's kind of a freaking cluster. Sorry about the lights. Just trying to get a little bit better light in here. It needs some serious cleanup and fixing up. So I need to work on that. I have a motorcycle that I need to work on. I have lots of projects I need to work on, but this has been my main focus, as I said, for the better part of 5 years. I wish I had a before and after shot of this dash. Me and my buddy put together this dash the other day, and I think it turned out pretty nice. Got it painted, put all the switches in, instrument cluster, all that, stereo. Kind of fun stuff. But yeah, either way, this is kind of the bug. I'll do a full walk around. You can see the back end. I kind of was messing around with doing some rhino lining stuff. I'm not a painter by any stretch of the imagination, so just be aware of that. Also tried to paint the exhaust. That didn't work out too well. Pretty sure we're going to wrap it the whole way around. I've got it wrapped most of the way. But I've got 31-inch BF Goodrich KO2s on the back, and then I've got an off-brand General Grabber all-terrain on the front, because the rims that I bought, these yellow rims, which funnily enough is not why I bought them, but because I'm not intending to keep the car yellow. I'm planning on changing it. They were a steal at $140 for all 4 rims. But what I didn't know when I bought them was that they were a different size from the front to back, which makes sense on Baja Bugs, because typically, or not on Baja Bugs, but on Beetle rims in general, they tend to be they tend to be a different size front to back regardless. The stock rims are a different size front to back. It's kind of obnoxious. You can't really do the same size tires all the way around, even though it would be nice to do the same size tires all the way around. I'm going to try and hold my phone here in a different way because I keep worrying that the friggin' pop socket on the back is going to fall off. Anyways, so they were a different size on the front, like completely different size. I thought they were 15s, like the backs were, but it turns out they were 14-inch rims. So the biggest tire that I could get in the front is kind of not that big, as you can tell, in compared to the back. I believe that these are, let me see, they're General Grabber ATXs, and they are a, where the F is this? 27 by 8.5 R14. So, yeah, as you can see, different size rim. I didn't buy the rims because they were yellow. I bought them because they were steel and because I needed a rim that I could do the wide 5 bolt pattern on. But the problem nowadays is that most tire shops don't have the capability of doing the old school style rims because you can't balance the tire. I mean, they can do them, they just can't balance the tires properly because the older wide 5 bolt pattern had a big ass hole in the middle, and you'd have to have a special bracket in order to actually put it on a balancing machine. So I bought these rims because they were nice because they had the smaller hole. They were able to do a proper balance with the tires, which was really nice, and it made it a lot easier so I didn't get freaking wobblies and weird bounciness to the tires or whatnot. So kind of continuing on, we'll go back to the back end of the car because I kind of left there to talk about the rims or whatever. A couple other things that I finished real recently. It's kind of hard to see with my garage door open, or shut, but I put on this metal sheet for my lights and mounted my lights. The wiring is not super pretty right now. I'm gonna fix that. I haven't gotten to it yet. I have a lot of fixing to do on the wiring, as I said. Not my full-time job. Actually, I may not have said that, but I'll say it now. Not my full-time job working on vehicles. I'm a network engineer by trade, and so everything that I'm doing with this is all hobbyists crap. And I love doing it, and I'd love to do more of it, and I will probably do more of it, but I don't see myself, ever becoming a full-blown auto body, auto everything, whatever. So anyways, so kind of walk around this side of the car. We may lose connection. Tight squeeze behind my door. I will turn it on and I will let you guys hear it. It sounds pretty decent. It's not terrible. That's if I can get it going. It likes to not start very well when it's colder, which it's not super cold today, so hopefully it won't be a serious issue. But coming back up along the front here, I have glass windows for all the windows. I'll probably put them in. At some point, I wouldn't mind getting some plexiglass so that I don't have to worry about stuff breaking, because that's worrisome. I should say, kind of on a different note, the pan, the reason it's a 72 pan and a 69 body, I actually had a 69 body the 69 body and its pan, but, or no, not 69, 67. Blah, I'm sorry. The problem with 67, until you get to 69, you don't have the ability to do a what is called, not that you don't have the ability, they made 69, like halfway through 69, they started switching over to what's called an independent rear suspension, or IRS suspension, and the 67 didn't have that. I tried to do a modification. I bought the parts to modify my existing rear suspension on the 67 pan. Did okay, but had some, like, it was off a little bit, and because it was off, it translated out to the tire as being way off, and I couldn't get it adjusted right and just decided that it wasn't worth the time to fix. I found another 72 bug online that had literally everything, the whole car, more or less 100% complete. Um, Still is for the most part, except for that I stole a bunch of parts for it, including its pan. So I pulled the pan off, put it on this guy, moved the cage, moved everything. My friends freaking wanted to kill me because I literally we had to cut the cage off of the 67 body because it was welded on, or not body, the pan, because it was welded on. So, and that was kind of fun. But let's see here if I can kind of get it started up for you guys. Oh God. Just so you know, I am about 6'4", just a little under maybe. I don't know, 6'3". I say 6'4" because I like to feel taller than I actually am, which is funny because it's only by an inch. But I'm about 6'4", and this vehicle is not the biggest vehicle in the whole world. So you might ask why I chose it, and honestly, I couldn't really give you an answer to that because other than I just like them. I do. So, anyways, let's make sure we're actually, before we do that, if I can get out. So, let me throw, just so we don't roll away, because I have to take it out of gear. We'll see if I can't get it to start for you guys. As I said, not the easiest thing for me to get into, but take it out of that. Oh no, look at this. My mirror fell off. It gets pretty hot in this garage. I should probably open that window more often, but we'll stick it back up there. It's kind of got a sticky back to it already, which is kind of nice. I might have to move it down some. Let's try that. Because I've been bitching and moaning about the fact that it's not the easiest thing to get in the right spot. Anyways, so there you go. All right, so switch back to this camera. We've got a bunch of toggle switches and whatnot, making it look more or less I don't know, spaceshipy. That's your primary power on off. It's also a kill thing. If I pull this out, you can't start the vehicle, you can't do anything. You could try and jump it, but you'd have to take the hood off and, you know, basically connect the two wires together and do all that stuff to do it. It makes it a little more difficult to try and figure out. I have another one of these somewhere else on the vehicle, which also helps to keep it from being stolen, thankfully, because I can take both keys out, and then, you know, it's harder to take off with. So anyways, we do that, and we flip up these two toggle switches, and you got, actually, let's do this because this turns on the lights. So that turns on the instrument cluster. I don't have all of them turned on. I'm in a steel box now, so my cover, or Wi-Fi is being shitty again. All the panels and everything light up with that switch, which is kind of nice. That's the winch control. When winch power, which for some reason it works all the time. I need to probably fix that because it shouldn't work all the time. It should only work when this is turned on. That's a wiring issue that I'll have to fix, remedy. So, anyways, flip those two switches up. This one makes it so that it'll actually run. And this one is the fuel pump. You can kind of hear it there. And here's the starting. Takes a minute to warm up. You kind of hear it. Woo. Anyways, not too bad. I will take and do some live stream videos if I can get the you know, regular internet connection with my phone to function properly. we'll take it out and do some driving around, test drive videos and whatnot. But, gotta love the smell of burnt fuel. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much basically it. As I said, there's a lot more to it. I could go into more details and kind of show how I did some things. And at some point, I probably will. I learned a lot about welding. I learned a lot about electrical systems in cars. Oh, excuse me. I learned about how these old bug motors work. Mine is a little bit of an interesting phenomenon in and of itself because the motor is fuel injected, or what I would say is fuel injected, except for that it's old. It does have fuel injectors, that's the point, but it's not a computer controlled engine in the strictest sense. Excuse me. And it is still air cooled, which is a bit interesting for a fuel injected engine. Most of those are the engines that Volkswagen made that were fuel injected were water cooled. The later generation Type 3s and so on. But anyways, yeah, that's my Baja Bug. This is we've kind of got a geek theme going on here in my household. We're all geeks. My wife's a geek, I'm a geek, our roommate's a geek. We all love different things. Our dogs are named after two characters from this show. We decided to call this, originally I came up with the idea of calling it Serenity. My wife said, well, we should call it Anara because it's your mistress. She likes to call it my mistress, which is quite funny. At least to me, and to some other people. Some people like my parents don't find it as funny, but, whatever. Anyways, so then I went out driving with my buddy the other day. We went out to 5 Mile. I had his kitten, the Bug, with me, and he was out driving around in a Subaru Impreza that's been lifted and has BF Goodrich KO2s on it, and just having a blast. And his daughter, his kid that's with me, goes, this thing is the beast, or is a beast, so I'm going to call it the Beast. And so we're like, okay, well, now it's got to be called the Beast, right? But I wasn't really ready to let go of the nerdiness side of things, so it's the Serenity Beast, which, to me, that ship in its own right, it's not the prettiest ship in the scientific world, or not scientific, in the sci-fi world, but it's not the ugliest ship. And it is kind of a beast when you get down to it, and back to the whole, themed things with animals and whatnot. My dog is named Wash, or one of my dogs is named Wash, and the other dog is named Zoe. Both characters from that TV show. And we're about to get a cat who is going to be the impromptu mascot for Game Over Garage at some point. And we decided to name him Captain Mal because, Malcolm Reynolds. If I ever could have, if ever my sci-fi hero were real, I would wish to have Captain Malcolm Reynolds from Serenity be a real person. I would love to meet Nathan Fillion in person. I watched an interview with him the other day where he said that he wants to fight somebody with lightsabers. I think it would be badass to fight him with lightsabers, like the Force Effects lightsabers, whatever, but I'm getting off topic. That's the Baja Bug. Thank you for watching this, and feel free to like, subscribe, follow, all those things. Broadcasting out to a couple of different platforms, so whichever platform you're watching on, feel free to follow or like. We always like to see those, and look forward to seeing more stuff from us, probably on a more consistent basis. Like I said, I want to try and get back into things. With everything that's going on with COVID and just out and out stupidity in this world that we live in right now, I feel like now's the time to do something about it. Now's the time to do something while we're all stuck at home doing stuff because we can't be out. And I'm not going to get all political with you. There's been some shit going on. We had riots here in Salt Lake City today, which is fucking mind-blowing to me. I get it. Black Lives Matter, and I think that that's a very important thing. And I'm a white guy. I know I am. I'm not trying to be all political, like I said. I just, the world needs to take a couple of minutes, or America needs to take some time and just chill the fuck out in general. And, spend time with your families, with your friends, if you can, even if you're doing it social distancing. I see all these people doing these parades and stuff in front of friends and neighbors and families' houses, and I think that's awesome. I think that's great. But, anyways, like I said, don't want to get political. That's not what this channel's about. Don't want to get into any of that stuff. Just stay safe, have fun, do stuff with your families that you can do, like I'm going to be doing. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and just love each other. And love building stuff, playing games, geeking out in general. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.